Someone help me understand. We are sitting here with all-time highs for BTC Max, institutional adoption, yet everyone thinks everything is over. Well, when I'm looking at Ondo because they're bringing Wall Street on chain. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that means by Ondo coming on chain, bringing Wall Street here with tokenized stocks and so much more, with a lot of huge partnerships and a lot to dive into. We're also going to dive into the chart and where I personally see Ondo going this cycle. It's going to be a great video. We're going to get into everything, real world assets and more. I love you all. This is never financial advice. Welcome to the open economy. Coming over here to Ondo's website, you can see a plethora of different partners they have. Solana, Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, Ripple, Sui, Aptos, Jupiter. This is a legit chain that is getting after institutional money. You can see they currently support 10 different chains, almost 130 integrated projects. Yield coin market share 80% with 1.4 B total value locked in. They're a lot into the real world asset business. And the largest real world asset that we have seen come out of nowhere that has been here a long time is a stable coins. The US dollar coming on chain actually is a real world asset. It doesn't always have to be real estate. It doesn't always have to be a commodity, but we have seen that come through with stable coins, and you can see they do a lot on lending with stablecoin protocol, people getting yield from that. But they've got this right here, thousands of RWAs, one platform, and we're going to get into all of this. But coming over here to coin market cap, we can see Ondo is currently sitting at a $3 billion market cap. If we come down here and we take a look at circulating supplies, 3.15 billion, total supply 10 billion. I want to get into the tokenomics in just a little bit because there is some inflation coming with this project. But we could see if we go back all time, you could see that it hit this of about 1.4 back in June of 2024. It hit this all-time high of about 2 in December of 2024, and you can see that equated to about a 5B market cap in the beginning. But you can see how this chart looks different from this chart, right? This looks higher over here, whereas over here it looks lower. So that's where we have to take into consideration market cap versus actual coin price, and that's where this inflation comes through in this tokenomics chart that I want to get to in just a minute. But I'm extremely bullish on real world assets. I believe everything is coming on chain, and you can see what they say right here. Ondo chain, the omni-chain network for real world assets. Ondo chain is a public proof of stake L1 blockchain divided specifically for institutional grade real world assets. And they have a lot that they're talking about here. They're talking about Tesla, they're talking about Solana, they're talking about Visa on chain. They're talking about a lot of stuff that I want to get into in a little bit. But Ondo's leaning very, very heavily into their Wall Street 2.0. As you can see right here, global market is now live, providing one of the largest ever selections of tokenized US stocks, ETFs on chain with the liquidity of TradFi starting on Ethereum, 100 plus assets now live. And this is something I'm extremely bullish on. I'm hoping you wait till the end of the video to really see some price comparisons on why I'm so bullish about something like Ondo. But institutional grade, open to all. They've got staking with advanced security. They've got all kinds of stuff. But the most important thing with this is that we're going to have assets that were originally in TradFi, and those assets and that liquidity is going to be available on chain. It's something I'm extremely excited for. And you can see just 1 week of Ondo global markets being live is now their largest platform for tokenized stocks and ETFs. But I do want to come over and highlight something on the website. Whenever we come through all of this, one thing that we're going to see is a few different disclaimers. And some of those disclaimers will say that it is not available in the US of A. This is for international people, international stocks. And why? That is extremely good. One thing I think we have to do, Wall Street without the walls, Wall Street 2.0, is we have to understand that We have to get regulatory clarity in the United States for a lot of these assets. A lot of these assets were born in the United States. So, with an entire on chain market that does not include the United States, it's kind of silly. But I'm going to be looking for with the current administration and with clarity and with the SEC that we get some more clarity for what we are wanting here in the United States. I think that's a very, very big thing. We've got to be available there, but there's a lot of things that don't make sense about the overall market right now. Like, why does there have trading hours? Why is it open at 8:30 Central Standard Time, close at 3:30? Why not all the time? Why not just trade all the time? That's why I love Bitcoin. That's why I love Ether. That's why I love cryptocurrency. Why not just trade absolutely all the time? But now I want to get into this token unlock because you're going to see that it happens at the beginning of every year, January of 2025, January of 2026. So whenever we come over here and look at coin market cap, you can see there is a good amount of inflation coming for a project, right? This is the type of inflation I would normally try to avoid, but when we're taking a look at it, currently 31.5 out of 100% has been released. So there's definitely inflation coming. And you could see if we take a look right here at what we're looking at, you could see right here, you could see the price of BTC. You could see the price of Ondo. And you can see right there, BTC was 104. We know BTC continued going up after that. As you could see right here, it ended up going up until about July. However, you could see this token unlock directly mark the top for the Ondo token. I definitely think Ondo is a good long-term hold, like just to buy it and I absolutely forget about it, never financial advice. But if I wanted to trade it, I would definitely trade around the unlocks. Like if I'm personally looking, okay, unlocks happen in January, maybe it bottom 6 months later, and then it peaks 6 months after that. That's what I'm personally looking for, guys. Never financial advice. But when I come over here and I look at the leader in real world assets. Okay, this is the leader in real world assets, sitting at a 3B market cap. And then I remind myself, hey, Freeman, you were still around last cycle. Let's go take a look at what things did last cycle. And you can see Doge hit in 2021 75, and then it hit a 70. Guys, that is 30x the market cap from what Dogecoin was to what Ondo is. And Dogecoin wasn't doing anything. Dogecoin was being shielded by Elon. That's it. That is it. We are building real stuff on chain with Ondo. Now, guys, I don't know if the price is going to go up, down, sideways, what? Coming over Shiba Inu. You can see, boom, hit an all-time high MC of 36. Guys, that is a 10 something X away from what Ondo is right now. So it just seems obvious to me that if anybody is a strategic investor, a long-term investor, an investor in the future of finance, an investor in Wall Street 2.0, that Ondo is just a perfect absolute follow. And guys, oh my gosh, let me know down in the comments. Give me a hard time. I can't believe I wasn't following Ondo. What am I even doing? That is crazy. But you can see some of the partners they have just coming over here to their X. Gold check mark, that's great, right? But institutional grade finance on chain for everyone. They spelled on chain right. There's a big thing going on around that the C is not capital, but backed by Founders Fund. This is a very large venture capitalist page. If we come over here, take a look. Pantera Capital, another very large page. And then what? The number one exchange of all time, Coinbase, especially the largest exchange in the United States of America. But whenever we're over here looking at what the top real world asset projects are, what I'm really looking for, you've got a couple. Hedera has branded themselves a lot lately as real world assets, and I believe they're doing a lot of things real world asset wise. But when you take a look, Chainlink is kind of the glue between everything, right? That's the highway system throughout a country, right? And that's how you get from one state to another state is Chainlink. You're communicating in between, right? That's a given. If you love crypto, if you bet on crypto, Chainlink or Link is, that bet. That's a leverage bet on the overall crypto ecosystem. Avalanche, that's another layer one, but Hedera and Ondo are really where they start. Algorand's starting to do a lot of stuff with real world assets. But when you take a look, the jump between market cap of something like Ondo and something like Chainlink is a big multiple. That's a 5x away. So I am believing that what Ondo does with tokenized stocks, I believe they're going to have tokenized treasuries. When you look right here, you have this right here, the first stablecoin borrowing, really, which is a real world asset, Circle USDC. Look at that. 5% APY right there, and they're continuing to come out with more. They're across 10 different chains, 80% yield coin market share with over $1 billion in total value locked. Ondo sitting at under $1 is kind of crazy to me. It really, really is. Like I said, NFA, guys. But Ondo is one of my top real world asset projects. I like a lot of RWA projects, especially a lot of micro caps, but those are a lot more on the risk reward curve, whereas this is more balanced to me when I'm taking a look at it. We got institutional money coming into crypto. We have ETFs, whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, you name it. They want to make ETFs about absolutely everything. So if this is this chain of Wall Street, and I love Wall Street, and we're bringing Wall Street on chain, well, guys, I might just like Ondo. But I want to know, what do you think about real world assets, and what is your favorite real world asset project? Let me know down in the comments below. Watch this video up above, and if you're not a part of the Finance Freeman family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.